Okay, so before we start with the interview, I just want all my viewers to confirm whether we are audible or not. Everyone, if you can just show us a thumbs up. Just a second. Yes, I think we are live now. Yes, I think we are live now. Yes, hi, good evening, Amey.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, so let's go ahead and let's begin with our mock interview.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have Mr. Deepak Jaryal with us, and yes, so let's begin. Amey, so can you quickly tell us something about yourself?
Yes, so hi everyone. My name is Amey Nagvekar. I'm born and brought up in Goa, and I come from a business family. Since school, I've done very well in my academics, and I've also participated actively in sports. In college, I was a part of the main council, wherein we organize our annual college fest. During this experience, I learned how to organize, coordinate, and work in a team. Post that, I got my placement done in Quest Global Engineering, Belgaum, where I was working as a design assessor. And my client was Rolls-Royce Deutschland. But due to the pandemic, I had to leave my job and I came back to Goa. But I did not lose heart and I started with my CAT preparation.
Okay.
In the future, I would like to work in an FMCG company, and with the mentorship and curriculum offered by a college, I believe I will be able to.
You come from a business family. Why don't you go ahead with your own business and why want to get into this MBA stuff and all that?
Yeah, so we have a business here in Goa. So right now it is just we just have one shop. And in the future, I would love to expand my shop, and I want to take it into new states and hopefully throughout the country. But for that, I need a knowledge of how the business works on a bigger scale. Right now,
from if I look at it from this particular perspective, you get into the college, you get the admission, and after let's say 2 years, you get a company hires you with a package of an IT company hires you with a package of let's say 30 lakhs. Would you take it up?
An IT company?
Yeah.
No, sir. I
would not take IT company offer.
But if the job is related to operations, then maybe I will take.
Okay, it is related to operations, for example, and they offer you a good amount of package. And would you take it up or not?
Yes, I need to.
How is that going to be aligned with your goal of expanding your own business? Because you'll be having, as you said, you would like to have some industry experience, right?
Yeah.
IT industry experience would help you expand a business that is totally not related to what you know.
So, if I have to look at the operations of an IT firm, I'm not exactly sure how the operations work, but whether I have to communicate with different clients, whether we have to set up the office in new locations. We have to check for the demand in that location. So
I understand. Whenever you get into a particular business, you develop clients. You develop a network, right? But the kind of network that you'll be developing in an IT industry, would it be like helpful for business that
not to a good extent, actually.
Okay, so Amey, just going a little back to your graduation, you did your mechanical engineering, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, what kind of projects did you take up during your mechanical engineering? Can you just brief us about that?
Yeah. So my final year project, it was an automated bike washing machine. So we had designed and fabricated the bike washing machine, wherein there were two processes, wherein the water spraying and the foam spraying. So that was automated, and it reduced the cycle time. It is done with the help of just one labor who has to operate the machine, and there is a consistency in the washing. So that was the main part was the recycling of the water, which is not done in most of the bike washing centers.
Can you tell me the difference between a tube and a pipe?
A tube and a pipe.
Okay, so you fine. Amey, can you quickly tell us about your work experience? I mean, what was your contribution when you started working? You got really nice opportunity. So how did you contribute? What was your value addition during your tenure?
Yeah. Should I explain what the work was, and then I'll go ahead with my contribution?
You can briefly, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, there are two types of engines. One is the large engines, which are used in the commercial aircrafts, and one is the small engines, which are used in the private aircrafts. So I was working for the small engines, and under each type of engine, there are different commodities. For example, there's a compressor, then there's the combustor, then there's the turbines. So I was working under the turbine section. So what my job was, so I used to receive a project. So I had to make a closure plan of 35 days. Wherein I have to assign time for 4 different tasks. One is the investigation, which was done by me. Then there is the drawing checking. Drawing in the sense, the drawings of the turbine blades. Then there is the design check, all the design aspects. And the final is the incorporation, wherein we draft all the measurements onto the main drawing paper. Okay. So there are 4 different tasks, and depending upon the complexity of the project, and how complex number of sheets of the drawing, I have to assign tasks to different stakeholders. There are different people looking after the design, the drawing, incorporation, and investigation. Then I was looking after the investigation, which was the technical part.
Okay.
So I had to.
What mechanical engineering concepts did you use during your work tenure? If you can just quickly tell us.
Mostly I had to use the GD&T techniques, the geometrical dimension and tolerancing. I had to use those techniques to find out. Actually, I was working on the non-conforming parts of the turbines. Non-conforming in the sense, if there can be different types. So it can be visual, like suppose there is a scratch on the turbine blade. So I have to check for the usability of that blade in the actual engine. And suppose there is an out of tolerance value, suppose the height of the blade is lesser than the intended value. Even a small difference in height, and it is usually in microns, that difference in the measurement can lead to a...
Were you using hydraulic turbines?
No, this was for aero engine. Okay. This was for aero engine, so it was gas turbine. Gas turbines.
Gas turbines. Okay. Yes. So what do you mean by inlet and outlet energies in turbines?
Inlet energy in the turbine.
Yeah.
So inlet is when we get the fuel mixture from the combustor, and outlet is after the turbine has done its job, when it is going out from the nozzle. That is the outlet energy.
So can we say that the inlet energy is greater than the outlet energy in a turbine? True or false?
Inlet is greater than the outlet.
Sure about it?
The energy content will be greater in the inlet.
Okay, Amey, just want to ask you one question. Can you see a ceiling fan above you?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Fine. So can you tell me what is the probability of that ceiling fan falling on you today? Can you calculate the probability? How will you calculate that probability?
To calculate the probability, I guess we will have to take the sample space, like we have to check how many times the fan has failed to the number of times the fan has been installed in a house. Okay. So depending on that, I guess we have to calculate the probability.
Fine.
What is the probability of sun rising in the east?
Sorry? I did not...
What is the probability of sun rising in the east?
1.
Not 1 by 4?
No.
Okay. Why A2 bar 0 is 1? Yeah. Why A2 bar? This is what intrigues me. Why A2 bar 0 is 1?
A2 bar 0 is 1. It's a axiom, like what anything raised to the power 0 is 1.
That is what my question is. Let me rephrase the question. Why anything raised to 0 is 1?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, that's fine. So, Amey, what are your hobbies?
My hobbies, sir, I like to run marathons, and I like playing football and badminton as well.
Okay. So, can you tell us what concepts of mechanical engineering can you use when you play football?
Football?
Yeah.
Transfer of energy that is used. So when we kick the ball, our effort is converted into the
Let me rephrase my question. What concepts of mechanical engineering can you use to improve your game by using those principles?
Okay. So we can use the principle of change in momentum. So let me try to explain it with an example. While playing football, suppose we are receiving a ball at a height and we have to receive it with our foot or chest. So what we do is, while the ball is coming towards the ground, we take our foot behind, or during if we are chesting the ball, we slowly come behind and give some time. So the more the time we give, the lesser it will bounce back off the chest. So that will help in controlling the ball.
So which principle are we using over here? You have mentioned about the phenomena, that's correct.
Yeah.
But which principle, specific principle, if you could recollect?
It is the second, Newton's second law. Force is equal to mass into acceleration, and it's a form of that change in momentum.
Right.
Second law of thermodynamics?
Second law of thermodynamics. Second law of thermodynamics is that the basic sentence is entropy. The randomness in the world keeps increasing.
Keeps increasing?
Yeah.
Constant over time.
It is not constant. It keeps increasing.
What do you mean by entropy?
Entropy, in layman's terms, is randomness.
Okay. And from a chemical engineer point of view, what do you mean by entropy?
Entropy. Entropy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amey, are you aware about the recently released budget?
Yes, not so much, but yeah.
Not so much. Okay, fine. Let's go a little, back in the timeline. Are you aware that our, finance minister gave a booster of 20,000 crore to the banks for some reasons?
Yes, sir.
Right. Can you just elaborate on that? What are your views on that, and what is the complete process? What is the outcome that they're expecting?
So according to me, I'm not very sure, but what I think is with the incentives given to the banks, so what banks are expected to do is that they are expected to reduce the interest rates on loans, because right now because of the pandemic, many people lost their jobs and they were in a bad economic state. So the ability of them to pay back their loans was decreased. So with the lesser interest rates, basically if there is more money flowing in the market is you can sustain basically the objective was so that people can pay back their loans, and they are also able to take more loans. In that way, the economy will be stable.
Okay, fine. What is NPA in the bank?
NPA should be non-performing assets.
Okay, and so why do banks have non-performing assets?
If a certain a certain part of the bank is not functioning as per the requirement, I guess that is called a non-performing asset.
What can you tell us about PNB scam?
PNB scam? I don't have much idea on this.
Okay, so Amey, have you given a thought about the specialization that you'd like to choose, while doing your MBA?
Yes, sir. I would like to do my specialization in operations.
Operations, because you are a mechanical engineer, is it?
Actually, I developed a liking during my mechanical engineering when I had a few subjects related to operations.
Like?
After operations research was one of them.
Okay. So, can you tell us about what is transportation model and how do we use it?
Yes. So the basic idea in the transportation model is that suppose we have warehouses which have certain demands.
Okay.
And we have the trucks which have a certain capacity which they can carry. We have a certain supply and we have a certain demand. And the amount required.
If you are asked just to summarize that, the application of transportation model in one line, what is that one line?
It is the way in which we can efficiently transport goods from one place to another.
Okay, efficiently.
Efficiently. So
Right.
we have to select the number, which truck will
Okay,
go via
Amey,
which
can
route.
you quickly tell us? Can you describe yourself in 2 words?
2 words: committed and hardworking.
Okay, and can you tell us what are your weaknesses?
I would say my weakness is public speaking.
Okay, so
What are you trying to do to overcome this?
Actually, around 4 years back, I had joined Rotary Club of Panjim, wherein I got a chance to speak in front of the members, at least like in one room. So that's how I started. And again, I get to interact with a lot of people when we go on projects. We have communication between different groups in our state. So that was one thing which I did. And also I joined the main council of my college. That also helped me a lot because I had to interact with my juniors during the college events to tell them what has to be done and the basic coordination work.
What course do you have, Amey?
CAP and Indore for now.
Okay, for now. Any other call that you're expecting?
Expecting GIM, I'm expecting, and IITs also. I'm not sure which ones.
so what if you get IIT Mumbai? Which one will you choose? IIM Indore or IIT Mumbai?
Oh,
Oh, so you are not confident about IIM Indore?
No, this is I am Indore interview. So I am Indore panelist is asking you which college would you be taking up?
so as far as people know, that IITs are meant for the top engineers and IIMs are the top MBA colleges. And since if I have an opportunity to choose between IIT Bombay and Indore, I think I will be choosing Indore.
But even IITs are known, yeah,
Known for mechanical and operations.
profile, correct.
So
Sorry?
IIT Bombay is more known for operations management courses as compared to IIM Indore. So
But I think the overall development which I need in my personality from an MBA, I think I'll be gaining that better in an IIM than an IIT.
when was IIM Indore started?
Sorry, I'm not aware.
You're applying to this college and you haven't done your homework, Amey? Yeah, okay, no problem. Thanks for coming here and thanks for spending your time. We wish you all the best and hope to see you soon on the campus. See you,
Yes,
Amey.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. So once again, everyone, to all my viewers who are present over here, we have Mr. Amey with us, who has got a few IIM calls and he is also expecting few more calls. And we have Mr. Deepak Jaryal on the panel. So now we'll quickly give you the feedback, Amey, based on the complete interview. Okay, let me tell you that overall your performance was good. Okay, so there are definitely positives, and it's just that if you can brush up certain gray areas, maybe we can take it from better to best. Okay, so I'll quickly share my observations, and Deepak sir will also share his observation. The first thing is, when you are sitting, you are in comfort of your own home, still you are moving on the chair, so that reflects the anxiety. So you'll have to make sure that you look mature and you are completely calm, composed and stable, right? I think you have revolving chair, so please make sure that you use a stable chair for the actual interview. But I think your body posture is very nice. Please make sure that you maintain the same body posture, right? Okay. Another thing that I'll suggest is, when you started your introduction, the introduction was coming out more as a bullet points, like you spoke about yourself, your graduation, suddenly placements, and then about your job. definitely for all the work experience people, you really don't need to mention much about what you did in schooling and what are your achievements and during school and all, because you have a lot to talk about your work experience. But if you are a fresher, definitely you can you can weave your introduction in a story form. For example, if I am to introduce myself as a candidate and I am a fresher, then definitely I'll go in this manner that good morning everyone, my name is Ronak Shah and I'm from Pune. I completed my schooling from the same place. During school I achieved this. After that I completed my electronics and telecommunication engineering from this college. During my college I participated in these events, or I organized these events, and I took up a project on this one. As part of this project I helped that company to reduce their cost by 30%. And yes, I'm willing to talking about my family. My father is a government servant and mother is a homemaker and all, right? Because you don't have many other points to talk. But if you are a work experience, definitely you will go to work experience part, but still your initial phase should be in some order. So you can just give a thought that in which order would you like to put your events, so that the interviewer can visualize those things. When you form in when you present that in a story form, the other person would start visualizing things. So this is what we want them to have, I believe. Yes, Deepak, what are your thoughts on this?
Taking forward from that introduction, no? So what you have to do is, जैसे कि introduction is good, मतलब जैसे सारे वालों उसको ध्यान रखो, but at the same time जो आपने बोला ना वो business वाला, because that question is going to definitely come, कि because people who have a business background, they generally thought process आता है कि why don't you go back to the same business, or why don't you do something to develop it. But if you don't have plans to develop it, don't mention it. Maybe in the long run, because एक question आएगा, because automatically अगर आप मान लो FMCG में कल चले जाते हो, या फिर कोई एक IT कंपनी आपको हायर कर लेती है, तो जो नेटवर्क वहाँ हम लोग कैसे भी जस्टिफाई कर लें यार, फाइनेंसिंग वही होते हैं, ऑपरेशंस वही होता है, बट प्रैक्टिकली वो नहीं होता. द काइंड ऑफ नेटवर्क वहाँ पे होगा वो यहाँ पे यूज नहीं हो सकता है. ठीक है, एट बेस्ट हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, अपना कैपिटल बिल्डअप कर सकते हैं. दैट्स द ओनली थिंग दैट वी कैन डू इट. बट अगर इफ यू डोंट हैव प्लान्स, तो डोंट मेंशन इट कि नहीं सर वो नहीं है, इट्स अ स्मॉल स्केल बिजनेस और शॉर्ट बिगर स्केल बिजनेस और व्हाटएवर इट इज, तो मेरा प्लान नहीं है वैसा. ठीक है, तो
one of the best answer that I've got for this one, whenever they ask you that you have any plans of starting your own business, or do you have any plans of joining your own business, the best way to avoid that question, sir, as of now I really don't have any plans and I haven't given thought on that. I'm looking forward to gaining knowledge of various business functions and then work with companies, understand best practices, and maybe in future I may start my business, or I may come back to my own family business. I really haven't given thought about that right now. So you can also put it that way.
ठीक है. सो हॉबीज इंटरेस्ट में जो भी आप वर्ड्स बोल रहे हो ना, जैसे कि सर ने फुटबॉल को लेके, तो दे माइट आस्क यू योर फेवरेट टीम, तो थोड़ा सा अच्छे से जान के जाओ कि क्या है क्या नहीं है. कौन सी फेवरेट टीम?
रियल मैड्रिड.
हाँ, तो अच्छे से जान के जाओ कि कहाँ कितने मैचेस वगैरह वगैरह, कितने प्लेयर खरीदे, कहाँ पे खरीदे, सब कुछ A to Z पता होना चाहिए. ठीक है, सो दैट जो भी आप मेंशन करें, यू शुड नो हैव अ बैकग्राउंड अबाउट इट. एंड नाउ आई एम इंदौर जो है ना, थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल, जैसे आपको पता है, दे गिव वेरी लेस वेटेज टू कैट स्कोर्स, दे गिव हायर वेटेज टू एकेडमिक्स आल्सो. ठीक है, सो वो आपके इंटरव्यू में रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा. दे विल बी फोकसिंग अ लॉट ऑन टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट्स. ग्रेजुएशन में जैसे सर ने पूछा प्रोजेक्ट्स के बारे में, थोड़ा प्रोजेक्ट को अच्छे से खींचो, अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करो, एंड पुट कीवर्ड्स अप देयर, बिकॉज़ आई वांट टू कैच दोस कीवर्ड्स एंड आई वांट टू एक्सटेंड माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन बेस्ड ऑन दैट. सो
प्रोजेक्ट के रिलेटेड मैं एक चीज बताऊंगा, एंड बिफोर आई गो अहेड, लेट मी जस्ट आंसर सम ऑफ द क्वेरीज ऑफ द व्यूअर. सो आई थिंक एवरीवन कैन जस्ट शो अस अ thumbs up if our voice is properly audible. Someone had mentioned that when Amey was answering, his voice was not audible. So Sneh, is that clear now? Can just show us a thumbs up. Talking about drop years, someone is asking about drop years. So we have other candidate who have this kind of drop years. So we will discuss and elaborate during that interview. Right. And yes, Sneh, it was clearly mentioned at the beginning of the interview. In the thumbnail itself, it is mentioned that Amey has got call from IIM Indore and he has got calls from the baby IIMs. Yes, Amey, is that correct?
Yes.
Right. And he had few other calls. He has few other calls. Okay.
Whenever this question comes up, na, ki which other calls do you have and all that, so whatever you mention, na, so whenever you're there, whichever college that you're sitting for, mention that particular college only. Okay, whatever options are presented to us, but to justify your answer, it cannot be like I should not feel as if just because he's sitting up there and that is why he's mentioning my name. You need to know something different about that particular college as compared to the college जिससे आपको compare करने के लिए बोल रहा हूँ. ठीक है, जैसे कि for example you are so into IIM Indore, so you must know when was it started, which are the subjects that you want to be learning in the first semester, operations में करना है तो क्या हम सीखने जा रहे हैं, because see all in all हमने बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत करी है, right, CAT में स्कोर लाने के लिए हम लोग इतनी ज़्यादा फीस पे करने वाले हैं, तो इतना मेहनत से हमको जो चीज मिलने वाली है उसके बारे में पता तो हो क्या मिलने के वाला है. Exactly. So you need to know, you need to learn, you need to go through the websites, whichever college that you go to. ठीक है, उसके इंटरव्यू से पहले just scan the entire website thoroughly.
अच्छा, one more thing. So even if you compare gym with IIM Indore, there will be certain positives about gym. It may be in terms of the various clubs that they have, or the entrepreneurship cells that they have, or the kind of events that they conclude, or the geographical advantage that they have. You can definitely put forward 2 points which they cannot deny, and I'm sure each college will have at least 2 such points which they cannot deny, right? No matter how flattering it use, but then it is justifiable, right? That's one thing. Now before that, I also have one point to mention for everyone, for you as well as all the other viewers, right? When you talk about project, particularly if you are a fresher, most of the time I've seen students explain, the candidates explain their project in technical terms and in detail. What I'll suggest is you try to be very crisp, short about your project, and try to put some I can say exciting facts and figures. Some exciting facts and figures. For example, I completed a project, I did a project through which I helped company reduce their cost by 30%. Or I reduce the error rate by 10%. So try to figure out, it should not be, of course, you should not be bluffing. You should be able to justify that how did you do it, right? But come up with some numbers and mention it upfront. Make them curious about these things and do not disclose everything. Let them ask more questions on that. अच्छा, ये आपने बताया आपने 20% कम किया error rate, तो कैसे किया? Are you getting this point? So try to see, I'm sure you will have a few such points to mention upfront to make them curious to know more about your project or your work experience and all. Yeah? Okay, so I think the other candidate is waiting. So is there anything else, Deepak, that you would like to share with him? Because I think more or less he was good.
All in all, it was good. If I just try to rate you out of 10, it would be like close to 7. So
yeah, okay, sir.
Good amount. So work on the feedback. I think it is good.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All the best, Amey. See you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.